Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to you. It is a beautiful morning in Kansas City. The sun is shining. I don't know, the sky is blue, a little cloudy here and there. Yeah, nice morning. No chemtrails, contrails. Yeah, not a lot of those going on today. Yet. Not yet. I don't know, maybe they're going to let us dry up a little bit before they start trying to seed more rain into our atmosphere. I don't know. I don't try to guess anymore. So I hope everybody had a beautiful weekend. I really do. We were down at the lake all weekend long, and my husband and I have a beautiful RV that we parked behind my sister's place and my cousin's place and their family and respective spouses. And didn't really have a very relaxing weekend. There was so much going on trying to get things set up. But I can see a future of many relaxing weekends at the lake. So right now, the lake water is really still high. There's still a lot of flooding going on down south, and I'm sure up north, and here in Kansas City as well. The Missouri River is out of its banks. But the flooding isn't widespread as it is in other parts of the state, or even north or south or east and west of us, because it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and it's really significant. It's the flooding that's going on this year is rivals 1993, if not surpassing it. I think actually it may have surpassed it by now. So still sending out lots of good energy and prayers and good thoughts to all of those who are. Dadgum, man, I tell you what, I just am not doing well with this right this second. Oh, that's what I need to do. Pardon me. There. Good morning, Sheila and Freya and Lauren. Good morning. Good morning. It's going to be a fabulous week. Now, I don't know why I titled today's show like that. I have no foreknowledge, and right now I've got a couple of appointments that are going to be really cool, but I don't have any particular reason for feeling like that, but I do. And so I figured, I'm going to pass along some positivity to everybody. Share some of that good stuff. So I'm super excited. Our first official guests are going to be our 3 grandkids down at the lake with us, Corbin, Kira, and Tristan. So they're our first official guests that we have coming down. I think I'm going to take them caving. Maybe go do some, spelunking. Go check out some caves in the area. Because there are a lot of caves around Missouri and Arkansas, but, in Missouri. Little hidden gems. One time my husband and I stopped at a cave near Springfield, Missouri. We were just taking a little vacation. And it wasn't too far off the beaten path. And when we got up to it, it just kind of looked like a tool shed, to be honest with you. It was not a big place, and it was more like a tool shack than a tool shed. And I kept saying, are you sure this is right? Yeah, it's right here on the map. This is before we had GPS, readily available to us. And are you sure this is the right place? I think it is. All right. So we go in, and literally it's a little shed in there. It's not big at all. And there is a hole in the wall. It is not big. You had to duck and kind of maneuver to get through it. And you came out on a very high, steep platform of steps, which you descended into a very, very dark and perilous cavern. But I tell you what, it had the most diverse environment. There were so many formations. I love caves. There were so many different formations in this cave. There were angel wings, curtains that come down. There were pearls, lots and lots of cave pearls. There were, I don't know, Lisa, help me out. What all do you find? Lots of stalactites and stalagmites. Enormous waterfall-like formations. This place was enormous. But they should have warned for a size restriction, really. Really, that would probably be helpful to a lot of people because there are some narrow confines in there. I got to get a drink. My stomach has been burning all night long. And so I'm really trying to cool it down. Sorry about that. I'm really trying to cool it down because I just feel like my stomach's been on fire. So, anyway, there were some really narrow places to squeeze through, and they didn't really give too much forewarning for that. But I guess if you could fit through the hole and make it down the narrow, steep staircase, then you pretty much could get through anything. Sometimes it takes a little bit of bravery to go into a cave, even one that's an established cave that is a tourist attraction, not just your everyday, there's a hole in the ground, let's go check it out kind of cave. And I know people that do that. I know people that they love caving so much. And most of them, and like 99% of the time, they're very careful and they let people know, they let more than one person know that they're going to be at a cave at this location. Here's the GPS coordinates. It's going to be right here. We're going to be at this location. We're going to go in for 3 hours and we'll be back here by this time. So, that way if you're not, and we will check back in. If you don't check back in, or, if your team on the outside is still waiting for you, at least they know. At least they know that where you're at. But it's that 0.1% that says, oh, wait, there's a hole in the ground. Come on, let's go check it out. Grab your flashlight. Let's go. Always slick in caves, and you never know how much mud you have to crawl through. You're right about that. I have not had the pleasure of being able to crawl through a cave yet. I don't have a spelunking partner. I guess that's the best way to say it. My husband is Lisa said, I've been in caves I did not have permission to be in, just went. I've done that too. I've done that too. But you were the 0.1% that time, weren't you? Nobody else knew you were going. Because you never know what can happen. The only cave that I ever went in, and this is why I'm pretty keen on the not being in the 0.1% anymore. Morning, love. The reason why I don't want to be that 0.1% anymore is because of the one time that I went into a cave when I was down in southern Missouri with one of the biggest hillbillies I ever met in my life. And he said, come on, I got some torches, let's go. He had 3 flashlights that were not working flashlights. And I mean, they did, but they cut out. We're in the cave, and he's far gone ahead of us. And me and my partner are like, oh, no, man, I don't know about all this. This is deep and long. And there was a spot where the cave branched off. I went this way, and the cave leader went this same way, and the other person went this way. Shoot, that person got scared to death and came running up this hall. But the thing is that there were these divots, these little dips in the floor that went like that. I mean, it was like you knew this ledge was solid, but you knew that little point in the center was very, very thin. And so I was very careful about how I was walking in there. And I turn around to this boom, 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 running up this cave hall. And you can hit your head. You don't know where the rocks are at. This guy was just scared and blind, And he tripped on one of those ledges, those little dips. He tripped on it, and he landed face first on the cavern, on this cave hallway floor. And he goes, boom, 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 boom. You hear the echo. And the echo was long and very, very deep. And I turned around and looked at him and I said, do not do that again. I was so serious about it, man. I had on my mean face. I said, do not do that again. And about that time, my stupid flashlight went out. And his went spinning when he fell on his face. So my flashlight goes out. And we're sitting in a very dark hallway of a cave that I'm not comfortable at all being in. And I said, I got to go. I started retracing my steps, man. I went and found the cave entrance, and I was inside the cave still, but I knew where the light was, and I could see, what was going on around me. I wanted to look at all the pretty things in there. But it didn't take long for other people to follow me back out. There was only 3 of us that went in, and all 3 of us came out. Thank God for that. Debbie said, I went into my first cave in Missouri, too. I think it was called Merrimack Caverns. I think you're right. I think Merrimack Caverns is in about the middle of Missouri, and there's Bridal Cave. Fantastic Caverns, I think, is one of the most popular caverns actually, it's the only one in the world that you can ride through on their little propane-operated trams, little car train things. And you ride through it the whole way. It's enormous, enormous. But, I remember, because, I've been around a few years now, a little over half a century. Good morning to you. Been around a little over half a century now, and I have seen change in the world during that time. But one of the saddest changes that occurred during these last 50 years, Pamela said, it's pouring rain here, but the birds are singing. I don't think there's any better sound in the world than that. What a beautiful blessing for you this morning. Thank you for sharing that. So when I was a child and I went through the cave, went through fantastic caverns with my mom and dad and sister. I mean, it was very beautiful. It was just a huge adventure. But it seems like there were formations in particular areas and not so much in another. And then they decided to take a part of the cavern that was used as a speakeasy and put a stage in there and chairs, kind of seating. It looks like rocks, but it's really not, and I was so kind of disheartened. I thought, man, the changes that they put in this cave were not necessary. It was a natural amphitheater anyway, so why add a fake stalagmite shaved off top platform there? Lisa says, speaking of caves, we slither on our bellies to try and find another room, and it was tight for me, so I got nervous that my husband would get stuck, so I crawled out backwards. Always be careful, not stupid. Absolutely. Well said, Lisa. Well said. I think that's my biggest fear, having to crawl through and manipulate my body in such a way that it won't go one way or the other. I'm scared to death of being stuck in a cave. Scared to death of that. But I really want to go. Now, at Fantastic Caverns, I know that they have they used to have a secondary cavern that you could go in that was a muddy mess of a place, but I'd like to try that out. But they don't do it when the water's high, of course, because those caves flood. They flood. And you never know when the water's coming, because it could rain 3 states away. And, 4 days later, here it comes down the cave rivers. There's a lot of underground rivers. And that's where the caves come from. It's all limestone in Missouri. So, anyway, I love to go caving. I want to, Lisa, I'm telling you, I am just dying to come dig with you. That has never left my mind. I want to come play in the dirt with Lisa. I really, truly do. So we really do have to get serious about that and make it a date. Okay? Okay? There's a lot of people that want to get together and do a digging party or like go down to the diamond field or go to the mines or the caves in Arkansas, like Mount Ida. Go dig up. Go dig up some rocks, some crystals. Not sure how to put something like that together. I think it'd be an amazing time. I really do. If anybody has any ideas, why don't you text me or message me? Message me and let's talk about it. Let's get together. Maybe we can figure something out. Maybe we can figure something out, and find kind of a central meeting place. Kansas City's about as central as you can get, but we can adjust that. We can adjust that map, no problem. No problem. All right, I'm going to pull a card this morning. Things going on around the earth, big time. Mount Cinnabung exploded. Didn't really explode. It just had an ash eruption. But man, it was a huge column of ash over the weekend. And what did I hear about Minnesota? Was there an earthquake? And all of a sudden, I didn't really hear anything about an earthquake per se. What it was described as was a fault line separation, and it looks like the road dropped a good 2 feet. What the hell? How do you have a fault line separation without really having a significant earthquake? And how far did it go? It was bad enough that they had to close down a highway and probably reroute it for some time. Let me get my mouth so I can eat real food again. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I tell you what, that's a hell of a weight loss therapy that you just went through. Eat wise though, and I think I really started eating a lot of smoothies whenever I had my teeth pulled. I really did. I bought one, or my husband had bought one of those smoothie makers a long time ago, but we really never used it that much. But I found joy in yogurt and apple juice mixed in some beautiful just mango. Oh, mango and peach is my absolute favorite kind of smoothie. And you know what? I got my cards here. I do. What I don't have is glasses. I do not have glasses. Oh, I do have glasses. Hang on just a second. I'm just going to step around the corner here. Wrong glasses. Come on, little sister, where the hell? Here we go. Yeah, see? Sometimes I just have to talk myself into getting it right. Lisa said, I'm already skinny. Man, well, God, better get some insurance added to that smoothie. Keep those calories up. My weight fluctuates so much. I mean, it really does. My weight fluctuates 10 or 20 pounds. And I think everybody's does. But I'm one of these people with a closet full of 3 different sizes of clothes, because I know in my heart of hearts that if I get rid of those 14s, thinking that I'll either be a 10 or a 12, 14, and if I'm heaviest, am I 14? But I don't want to be a 14 no more, so I'm going to get rid of those 14s, and I'm just sticking with my 10s and 12s. 12 will be my big clothes now. No. That's when you're thinking, man, I'm so glad it's summertime. I can go out and buy me some elastic band shorts, some big t-shirts. Hide that fat. Hide it. I'm not doing a real good job of hiding it today, and I don't care. Excuse me. Dearest you, and you know who you are. And if it's not you, it's probably sitting right next to you. Did you know that when you stop fighting and accept everything exactly as it is right now, miracles start to happen? There is a freedom in this kind of radical acceptance. Let go of unrealistic expectations and see things as they really are, and not how you would like them to be. You'd be surprised about how everything falls into place. When you refuse to accept things, life gets messy, you act messy, and your world stays in chaos, tension, and disarray. But don't try to force a change or manipulate the circumstances. Instead, learn about what is in front of you and face it with your eyes fully open, and then you can decide, stay or go, sink or swim, move or stay still. Acceptance is the key to freedom and opens the door for real opportunities waiting to be discovered. Set yourself and others free. Loving you so much, always and forever. Nice, nice. I like the way that it started off. When you stop fighting and accept everything exactly as it is right now, miracles start to happen. Freedom in this kind of radical acceptance. Let go of unrealistic expectations and see things as they really are and not how you'd like them to be. That's one of the hardest things to ask of everyone. It's the hardest thing to ask. Yeah, it resonated with me too, Debbie. It really did. It really did. It's a good card this morning. I was listening to YouTube again this morning, because I always listen to YouTube. Don't even hardly watch TV anymore. So I was listening to David Icke talk. Nice. And what he said when he started off, the most amazing thing I've heard in a long time out of anybody's mouth. And that was, once you stop worrying about what others think of you, once you stop worrying about what others think of you, you're truly free. You can do anything. Anything, man. That's when limitless comes in the picture. David Icke suffered incredible rejection, and man, this guy was laughed at. He was ridiculed for his beliefs that, there's life out there, that they were in communication with them all the time, that there are beings on this earth that didn't come from this earth, But that's not all. He has radical theories and radical ideas back in the 80s, maybe 90s. I think is when he started talking and saying, this is what I think is going on around here. I think we live in an illusion. How can we be solid if we're all made of atoms, I don't know. I don't know all of his stuff. I really don't. I don't know how to explain David Icke. If you've ever heard of him, then you know who he is, because he's a very unique individual. And so he also said that when you face ridicule as strongly and as in his face, as he did, it will either kill you or it will forge your iron. And for him, it forged him, and it strengthened his belief. And he didn't just stick with it because that's what I said to begin with, man, I got to stick with this. No, man, he kept on going, and he kept looking, and he kept refining his belief system. He kept refining his understanding of how the universe works and what is spirit, what is paranormal, what is unique. So throughout his life, he has suffered much ridicule and much disdain for his beliefs. But I think because, for the most part, I think he might have gotten it right. For the most part. Not everything. I don't believe that everything that he says is true. And I don't think truth is really the right description of David Icke. I really don't. Unique, I think, is a very apt way to describe him. But I also believe that he believes so strongly in what he is saying that he's a force to be listened to. And you don't have to buy all of his beliefs, just like you don't have to buy every person's belief that either you admire or some of the things that they say you resonate with. But some of it feels like truth. Even if it's way out there, some of it feels like truth. So I'm going to post up I'm going to share it from YouTube to my Facebook page so that you can listen to it if you want to. It's probably about an hour long, but it's very interesting. It's very interesting. But the truth of what he said more than anything else, the truth of what he said was, when you stop worrying about what other people think of you, that is when you're truly free. That's when you're truly free, and you can do anything because you're not in the confines, you're not in the slavery of someone else. Because and being under slavery to someone else means that you have to contort your truth so that you will fit another person's belief. It doesn't feel right. Contorting my truth to fit what someone else believes does not feel right. About myself, about my spirituality, about my life. No. Debbie said that she's been struggling all weekend with something, and last night you just accepted it. Doesn't hurt as bad. Got some much needed clarity last night and this morning. That's fantastic. It really is. It's hard to let go of things. You know, it's hard to, because there's so many sides to one story, and we all know that. Not just two, but so many different aspects. And what we hold on to is the part that we see as truth. And it might not be what the other person sees as truth. So when we let go of a situation and really see it for what it truly is, miracles do start happening. Miracles really, really do. Because like for Debbie, miracle last night was she got some much needed clarity after she just finally let go of it and surrendered it and said, I can't do this anymore. And the angels started singing, the spirit guides started dancing, and everybody said, woohoo, man, we finally did it. Somebody got through. Somebody's getting a raise. These are Postcards from Spirit by Colette Baron Reed. Absolutely my favorite deck. Absolutely. Not because they're tarot, not because they're oracle, but just because they feel good. Feel good. These are my feel good cards of the day. Dearest you. We bet you must be so exhausted some days, giving as much as you do, sharing your energy so beautiful in service to the highest good. And this could leave you feeling depleted, like an empty well. If it feels as if there is no more water for you, the good news is that we have a plan. Today, go take a relaxing bath, book a massage, read a novel, buy yourself flowers, or plant some in your garden. But make time for self-care, not more work on yourself. By tending to yourself now, you are reminded to do so more often. And be sure to use a word that might have caused you anxiety in the past, but is essential for your well-being now. Just say no. Say it with us. No, thank you. No, I can't. You don't have to explain. Just say no gently but firmly, and then go for a soak. Life will wait for you to bring yourself back to center. Be replenished and ready for more adventure. We love you so very much. Nice. Beautiful, Debbie. Thank you so much. Thank you. Tears are good, though. Tears wash us away. Cleansing. Very cleansing. Wash away all that pain and the... I don't know. But you get tired of crying after a while. I know I do. I have, in the past, cried for days and days and days at a time for something. You know. And finally just brushed myself off and stood up and started going on. Not easy. It is not easy. But it's doable. And sometimes that's all that we can do. Sometimes it's all that counts. Heather says she's sadly still going through something, but doing it in a strong way. And you know what, Heather? Sometimes all you can do is stand. You know, and so you just stand. And you stand in your beliefs. You stand firm in your whatever it is. Whatever the matter is. Just If you believe something so strongly that nothing's going to shake your foundation, then just stand on that. Stand on that understanding and that belief and that knowing. And really, everything is going to be okay. It's hard to let go and start something new. But if you step through that door that puts you in a new circle, in a new world, in a new merry-go-round, so that you can experience more of life, more diverse life. Do you ever notice that about yourself? When you end a relationship, for instance, your entire circle completely changes. You may have one or two people from your life with this person, your old life with your ex-partner, whatever it is. And you might take one or two people with you and bring them into your new circle. Or you may leave everybody behind and not ever see them again. And everything starts brand new again. It's absolutely an adventure. And the beginnings, it's not an opportunity for a beautiful new beginning if you allow the change, if you allow it and you don't fight it and you don't regret and you don't keep looking back and don't keep longing for what you had, and instead start searching for your new truth, your new identity, this new part of you that's taking shape. Go forward. Don't ever go back. When you close that door, you don't want to open it again. There's no reason to open it again, ever. So you just go forward. And be grateful for what you had then. That circle taught you something. Even if it was the craziest time of your life or most frightening or most stressful, it still taught you something. And if you can honor what it taught you, moving forward is so much easier instead of being dragged forward, kicking and screaming because you miss whatever it was that wasn't real anyway. And it is how it's supposed to be. As long as it resonates in your body, your mind, and your spirit, as long as there is no conflict within, then you know that you're doing the right thing. When there's any sort of imbalance in your life, you have to look at where it comes into balance at, where the balance comes back in. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I love new beginnings. I really do. I really, truly do. Because you can make yourself anything you want to be when you have another chance, when you have a new beginning. You can shake off all that old crap. You don't have to bring anything with you at all. You can leave the baggage at the door. You don't have to bring it with you. Just set it down. Say thanks. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the lessons learned. Thank you for allowing me to move on and leave that baggage at the door. And then when you start your next step in your brand new life, you can become exactly who you want to be. And when you finally find who you are, the right person, the real person that you are, everything feels right. Everything does. Nothing is out of balance. Nothing. And that's a blessing. That's really a true blessing. And you never know when you got it. You never know, ever. But pretty soon you realize that you don't have as much backache or pain in your body, and you don't have as much sadness in your heart or those memories that come back and cause you pain, or the what if movie that's always playing. Your spirit is singing. You're just content. You're content. And everything is going well. Even if it is contentment in the middle of a struggle, or in the middle of a battle, or in the middle of a peace-filled field of flowers. It doesn't matter where you are. If you feel like you're in balance doing what it is that you're doing right now, chances are you're golden. Chances are you got it. You made it. You will find the way, Lisa. That's right. Lisa said, move forward and let go, and you will find the way. So wise. Thank you so much. You're absolutely right. Oh, wow. Debbie Grassberger Schmoly, you get a golden star today. That is absolutely perfect. She said, I've been trying to look at it from a higher perspective, that our higher selves made an agreement that this was going to happen so that we could learn the lessons we came here to learn. It makes it easier with that perspective. It doesn't sound easy, but it truly is. That's absolutely 100% correct. I mean, perfectly stated. Perfectly stated. Our soul selves did make an agreement. They did say, I want to go and I want to do this, and this is how I want this life to be so that I can continue from the last life that I lived to build on what I began. Or I want to do something entirely different. I want to do something entirely new, something way out of the box, something that my spirit has never felt before. I want to be the adversary this time around. I don't want to be the good guy. I want to be the bad guy. It doesn't matter how you write your life. It doesn't matter how you write your life to live. You know, if you're going to be the bad guy, be the bad guy. Be a really bad guy. For whatever reason. You know, our spirits want to try out everything. That's why I truly believe that there is no hell. There's no hell. You know, there might be a time, of learning. I know there's a time of healing when spirit crosses over. Generally, they're not readily available to talk because their spirit is kind of in a shock. It's and I keep saying all the time, it's like a being reborn, except as physical, their spirit. Well said, Julie. Well said. Julie said, having been given free will, I understand why things don't go the right way for me. It's just them getting me back on the right track, and that's exactly right. And making you wait. Sometimes it's the hardest thing, is to wait. So I totally lost my train of thought. I'm telling you, I gotta quit looking at the comments. But when you write a book, I really want to know what you said, and so I want to, my eyes go that direction. It's just me. Patience. Yeah. Heather said thank you. I have such a good time with you guys. I really do. I so enjoy my mornings, and I say that all the time, and I say that with a happy heart. I always look forward to these days. And the thing is, when something goes wrong, like last Thursday I couldn't do a live because my camera video card was full. Who knew? Right? Who knew that your video card would fill up and you can't do a live shot whenever that happens? So I've learned that lesson, but it frustrated me the entire day. I mean, it really, really frustrated me. I was just not myself. I was out of sorts. And that's the way I feel often whenever I'm not able to come on for whatever reason. If my husband has an appointment, if a grandson needs someone to stay home with him, whatever. Stub my toe, can't go. It bothers me. Not because, but not because of any particular reason other than I love your company. Love your company. All right, I'm going to do this last card, and then I think I'm probably going to kick off of here. Got to go down to Thorny Acres for a little bit today. Maybe I'll pick some more cherries. Man, if there's any left, if the birds or the raccoons or the possums haven't eaten them all yet. Man, God, that tree was loaded. Dearest you, uncertainty is the new norm for the whole world. Things are changing at a rapid pace, and the old ways that we once trusted are no longer reliable. But leaving the familiar behind can be a good thing. When you are pushed to step into the unknown, you are pulled forward into discovering new possibilities that have been hidden in plain sight. Check in with your higher power. Your soul knows better than your small self. Have faith in the support of a higher power and in the infinite potential for your life. Right now, the advice we have for you is this. Try something new. Do something different. You won't know how it feels, what it looks like, or what the outcome will be if you do not take that first step into the unknown and experience the unfamiliarity. You'll be so glad you did, because the treasures will appear. We are so proud of you for being brave. You're so loved and so supported. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, guys. That's awesome. Man, Spirit really does always, it seems like, always match up with whatever it is that we're talking about. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? I don't know if it's them leading me to pull out that card, or if it's, I don't know which one follows what. I don't know if the cards follow the words or the words follow the cards. I don't know, but they seem to really dance well, don't they? They really seem to dance well. I could use an adventure too, but every day is an adventure for me. Every day there's always something. I don't ask so much for adventures anymore, because then it really gets hairy, You guys are so welcome. I wish you peace today. I wish you beauty that surrounds you everywhere you go, and that you see that beauty too. I really do. I want you to be able to see that beauty that surrounds you today and every day. But most especially today, because I think you deserve it. So go out and do something good for yourself. Take that long hot bath. Get you some nice bubbles from the store before you go home. Buy yourself those flowers. Light some candles. Put them around your tub. Throw some crystals in your water and relax. Take a break. And come back rejuvenated. Love to you all. I mean, love to you all. Have a beautiful, peace-filled day. And I'll see you again tomorrow. I got nothing going on that I know of. We'll find out.